Hey, good morning, evening, afternoon, whatever time it is where you are. Here it is morning. It is 10:30, and about an hour or so ago, maybe earlier than that, maybe almost an hour and a half ago, one of my boys, boy, I just got up. One of my boys said, there's four packages out on the porch. Two are for me, board games. Two are for one of my teenage boys who is got a turntable. He's a big music fan. Got a turntable and suitable speakers. So here I am with a couple unboxings. I got a light one here, pretty good size, but they've packaged it well, I can tell you. And then a heavy one, and the bigger of the two, which I was looking forward to getting. So this one's pretty good size and heavy. So I'll open up the smaller of the two first. This is an expansion to a game that my boys got me for Christmas. So let's see here. I'm going to take the knife to it, get the tape off the sides here, and then put those here. Do I have it yet? Almost. Yes, I do have it. Okay, put the knife away. And we've got airbags in here. Come in handy for if I need to send anything. And then my packing slip, and then what I wanted. And I really like the game that they got me for Christmas, and now I have the expansion that, of the two expansions that are out for this game, this is the one I wanted more. There's a second one as well, but this one to me, because of the game and what it's all about, more closely summed up what I was looking to do with it. And that is The War of the Ring, Lords of Middle-earth. This gives you, let's see, 8 figures, along with probably 8 cards, I'm guessing. It doesn't say that. 28 event and character cards, of which probably 8 go along with the plastic figures, or at least some of those do. And then it also has 11 cardboard counters, 5 special action dice, and then some game rules for this particular expansion. So looking forward to it if you haven't seen it before. What if the keepers of the Elven Rings had used their rings of power to challenge the might of the Dark Lord? What if the Balrog had risen out of Moria to bring fire and fury to the lands of the Free People? What if the Council of Elrond had decided differently regarding the Fellowship of the Ring? With Lords of Middle-earth, the first expansion for the War of the Ring 2nd Edition board game, players may explore these possibilities together with many other ones to create fresh gaming opportunities and new strategies. Important personalities previously featured in the game only through event cards are represented by specific figures and rules. New characters include Elrond, Galadriel, Smeagol, which is sort of the helpful side of Gollum, Gothmog, and the powerful Balrog of Moria, as well as alternate versions of Gandalf, the Witch King, and the Mouth of Sauron. And also, I believe there's also one in here for Aragorn, I think. Okay. As an added bonus, figures for Aragorn and Gandalf the White are provided, accessories that fans have been eagerly awaited. Because in the game, I've never played it, but I've certainly watched it enough and read the rules enough. At some point, Gandalf the Grey becomes Gandalf the White, and at some point, boy, isn't terrible. You love the books, and sometimes you get a mental block. But at some point, Strider becomes Aragorn. And when that happened, you were supposed to put a little token underneath the figure to represent that they changed. Now you actually have a different figure, which is great. New special action dice are included, Elven Ringkeeper's dice for the Free People's player, and lesser minion dice for the Shadow player. New versions of all the companions of the Fellowship of the Ring are also included to play the optional Council of Rivendell rules. Interesting. Well, I'm hoping that this gives a little more variety to the play. It sounds like it will. There's a second expansion for this, which I'm not quite as interested in, which brings factions into it, be it the Eagles or the ships from Corsairs, some other ones too. I'm not as eager for those as I am for these main characters to be added. And I realize this adds more to the light side for the Free Peoples than it does to the Moria side. But you get the Balrog. I mean, the Balrog. How cool is the Balrog, right? Maybe the coolest character in the story in some ways. So anyway, War of the Ring, Lords of Middle-earth expansion. Really happy to get it, and happy I was able to get it for $17 and whatever I paid. This one was on clearance, and it was on my radar, but it wasn't anything that I was eager for. But I watched a couple videos on it. I'm not plugging anybody else's site here, but the same kind of places you guys watch probably. And I watch a lot of different ones. I eventually will do some shout outs for channels like mine. I mean, I have another channel called Dean of DVD, where I have been reviewing Blu-rays and DVDs for a little bit. And I've got, I don't know, maybe 1,500 followers there. So that's not a bad channel. And I've gotten as many as like 20,000 views on some of my videos. My James Bond, ranking all the James Bond movies in particular, rings a bell, as well as my review of Heaven's Gate. Anyway, but this channel is new. I just started this, I don't know, a month or two ago, something like that. And I just got into board games again, fairly recently. The channel's not that old, and it's a new channel, and you've got all the established ones out there, and in the end, people are going to watch the channels that provide them the content that they like, or I guess the people that they like to see, and I do some of both. And some of the people I like to see are not the mainstream people. I mean, I enjoy, the ones that you enjoy, the popular ones for the most part, but there's a lot of other ones I like that are not as popular. What do we got here? Some sort of card. What is this? At the beginning of the game, play this card by handing it to the player to your right. Ignore the starting player condition in the rulebook and become the starting player instead. Okay. Here we go. I'm the starting player now instead of you. And now you can have this card. That's kind of cool. I like that they threw that in there for nothing. More packaging crap. Well, they do a nice job here, though, packaging this stuff up. And for the most part, I've been happy with this particular place that I order from. This is a pretty heavy game. Let me get it out. And then the box over here. I'll show you guys what I got here. Oh, this is fairly heavy. As I said before my ramblings, this was on clearance. Not necessarily on my radar. The box is in great shape. No dings on the corners or anything. This one, if I'm any judge of the videos that I've watched, and like I said, I don't buy many of these games without checking them out pretty thoroughly. I watch run-throughs. I read probably more than I should about the games. And this one, I was sort of on the fence about. I wasn't sure. I mean, it sounded good. The theme is what I like. I wanted something that was a little more Euro than anything I have. And the closest Euro game I own, I guess, is probably Viticulture with the Tuscany expansion, because it has some elements of a Euro game. You may just tell me, oh, sure, that's a Euro game. You may say it's a really light Euro game. This one probably isn't a super heavy one either, I guess. But I like the theme. I'm a huge fan. As I look over at my board games, I have got probably I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, I guess, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 or 10 easily, and I can't see them all, that I would put into the science fiction category. And then I've got others that I would put into the fantasy category, and I've got probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8 of those, and then the rest are whatever the rest are, a variety of things. This one's science fiction, and it seems to be the one genre that I like more than most. So I'm hopeful that I'm really going to like this game. It's by Taco Kallio. And it is Eclipse. Yeah, hopefully you can see that all right. There's got a lot of glare going on today. We got the windows open, with the blinds open. There we go. Looks like a fabulous game. New Dawn for the New Galaxy. I want to get the, came out in 2015, by the way. But I'm not, you know, how do I buy games? Let's talk about that for a minute, because I think it's a worthy sidelight. I may even make a video on it at some point separately, but why do I buy games like this or any other game, or how do I buy games like this? My process is, I'll hold this while I talk. My process is that what I'll do is go out to Board Game Geeks, and typically I'll start at the top of their ranked games. So Pandemic Legacy is number 1. And I'll go down the list until I find one that sounds interesting, that's in the top 25 or 30 games. I tend not to go for the latest and greatest for a number of reasons. Normally, the top 25 games, well, not normally, they are. They've got a number of reviews. They've been out for a little bit. They've got a lot of positive feedback, with a few exceptions. You know, you've got like Scythe up there at number 8 now, or whatever it's at, which is a game that, oh my God, I've heard so many mixed reviews on. I've not played it, but some of the guys in my gaming group that I game with, who know a lot more about board games than me, one of them is a designer and is going to be ready to publish his own game here shortly, said I wouldn't play that game again if it was the last game on the planet. I said, that bad? Boring, and, you know, just thematically didn't jump out at him. And I've heard the similar things from other people. Just wasn't up to the hype, and yet it's number 8. So I gotta give that some, maybe even 6. I don't know. Cheers. I gotta give that some credence, because I do think there's something to that. When thousands of people like a game, there's, you know, it's like the old Elvis Presley record, you know, a million fans can't be wrong. All these people can't all be wrong. So either the guy I know missed something in the play, didn't have the right mixture of people playing it. I don't know. I don't know. Or it's just a genre that is so, some things are just so, you know, you either love it or you hate it. And I think it might be that. But Eclipse, well, let me bring back. So I go down my my list and start to see games that look interesting, and then that's the first step. Or it could be that I hear a review of it on YouTube. Somebody's got in their top 10 list. Somebody whose opinion I like, and my opinion on reviewers. I've said this before on my DVD channel. Reviewers are only as good as if they match your opinion. Whether it's Roger Ebert when he was alive doing doing movie reviews, or any of the popular channels out there doing the board game stuff. If you don't agree with their opinion regularly, then their opinion doesn't mean much. For instance, there's a channel out there. Again, I'm not going to advertise for folks that already have very successful channels. I don't see the point. I'll do it for less successful channels to help them. But there's somebody out there, you probably know who I'm talking about, but he'll only play games that don't encourage aggression, and only play games that are possibly played with 2. So if that's what I'm looking for, and his opinion is good, in other words, it matches mine. So if it doesn't match mine, what good is it? To me. For somebody else, it may be golden. His word may be gospel. That's my opinion on reviewers, and I think it's pretty universally true that unless you agree with the reviewer, the review has no credibility for you. That doesn't mean on occasion you're not going to agree with that reviewer, but if you find yourself disagreeing with them more often than agreeing, then perhaps there's something to that. I will say that person who reviews games with 2 really liked this one. Sorry, I'm going to take a pill. So I watched that review, and I watched some other reviews. I watched a playthrough, and it appears to be a game I will enjoy. particularly with my gaming group, not so much with my boys, although I'm going to try to play with my boys. This is a game for 2 to 6 players. But I think you take out the, there's some element of diplomacy, negotiation. I think that leaves the game if you only have 2. But it looks like a really good game. It's got that space theme, but it's got the Euro concepts. I've heard that it uses some mechanisms that are similar to in these boards that are in the game, similar to some other games that keep track of a lot of different complex things in a fairly simple board that you have as a player. So let me pop this one open really quickly. And I don't know, what am I running out for time? 23 minutes already? You know what? Let me keep this video to this length, because I think people's attention spans, I'll watch the hour-long videos sometimes, but more often than not, I don't get through it all. I'll have to come back and get to it later. And I think most people's time is like that. So I'm just going to end it here with these 2. And I'll do a separate video, probably right now, where I'll cover what's in the box and probably do some other rambling, and what's in the Lords of Middle-earth expansion box for War of the Ring. So look for those videos. They'll be up at some point. This one will probably be up first, but then the other ones will be up shortly afterwards. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Enjoy your day, evening, afternoon, whatever it is. Thanks a lot.